What an insane finish to the 100-meter Olympic final. We're going to be breaking it down here today, going into how Noah Lyles was able to pull it off, some of the things that really stood out within his sprinting mechanics, as well as some of the things that Kishane Thompson could have done better, Frank Kerley, Oblique Seville, everybody that was in the race. We'll go ahead and hop right into it. So first, we're going to take a look here at Noah Lyles, and many of you guys know I did a video a couple days ago about Noah Lyles, what he's going to end up having to do in order to win. And essentially what we talked about is just stay close enough to be able to finish that last 40 meters well. My thought process was that if he was within a few meters within the 60-meter mark, then he would be in a good position to be able to win the gold medal, and that's what he was able to accomplish. Ran 9:79, new personal best, beat Kishane Thompson. One of the things that I talked about during the week as well is that Kishane Thompson struggles a little bit with his finish, with his top speed, and got a lot of people that were talking about how that is inaccurate, what a terrible take, blah, blah, blah. But here in the Olympic final, we see that Noah Lyles was able to come back and get the win. So let's go ahead and take a look. We'll take a look at this video here first, just because it gives a good side view. And in this position, again, Noah Lyles has never been a excellent starter. I mean, he is obviously on a very elite level. I don't want to take away from his start. It's not like it's a bad start, but he's not going to beat Oblique Seville. He's not going to beat even Let's See Tobago. But I think that it was very favorable for him to get this position. The only other thing could have been to be on maybe the other side, maybe in like lane 3, to be closer to Kishane Thompson from the very beginning. But being close to Oblique Seville really pushed him to be able to accelerate well. Once he got into like this area, I figured that he was going to be able to win it, right? Because at the beginning, it didn't look too good. It was like, oh man, he didn't get a good start. Really, in this area, I was thinking Fred Kerley was going to end up getting it. When we take a further look away here, we could see Fred Kerley really got out well and was in a very good spot. And so, I mean, I thought Fred Kerley or Kishane Thompson, these two were really battling out at this point. But then as we get closer and closer to the end, we could see Noah Lyles really comes on strong and is able to eventually pass. And you can see Kishane Thompson does a great job as well. He ends up passing Akini Simbine as well as Fred Kerley. Akini Simbine did a good job in the semifinals in passing everybody. And so his top speed was definitely at a very high level, and as was Kishane Thompson. I mean, Kishane Thompson in the Jamaican trials ran a great 60 to 80 meters, and here he ran, again, another great 60 to 80 meters. The closer that you look at it, the more, to me, it seems like he kind of tensed up at the end. This is kind of that final kind of look here. So just looking at like the faces, you can see Noah Lyles looks very relaxed, where Kishane Thompson looks like he's stressing a lot more. And I think he starts to tighten up a little bit, to be honest. I mean, I think that, and this is one of the things that we talk about with your finish, is like you really want to be loose as much as you can. You want to be able to maintain having a good loose position. And that's where him running the Jamaican trials could have been better for him to just kind of go through his finish in a little bit more of again, I mean, a loose way is the best way to describe it, as opposed to here where he really tenses up, really tightens up, and I think shortens his stride and doesn't get as good of a finish. My argument would be that he probably ran a better last 20 meters in the Jamaican trials, or was very similar to the time in the Jamaican trials within that last 20 meters as he did here in the Olympic finals, because of him kind of tensing up. I think that ends up being where he can certainly get better. When we look at Noah Lyles, I mean, we've done tons of breakdowns on him in the past. He does so many things very, very well when it comes to the top end speed, being able to just really open up that stride at a very, very effective rate. Does able to get plenty of extension there, plenty of arm range of motion, does a great job with the lean. I think that's what really stood out here with this, is just being able to stay very composed here at the end to be able to get that excellent lean, right? This is, again, a thing that we talked about, another talking point going into it. And you could see Fred Kerley gets his foot across, Kishane Thompson gets his foot across, Noah Lyles gets his foot right on the line, but gets his torso or like clavicle through first. And that's where the experience is really something that will showcase, right? We talked about how the big question with Kishane Thompson is this is really like his biggest world stage competition, right? He didn't compete last year in the World Championships. This is the first time, obviously, at the Olympics. Only 22 years old. His future is very bright, obviously. I mean, ran 9.79. He's only 22. To me, going into it after watching the semifinals, he looked even really good running a nice, easy 9.8 in the semis. To me, it was like, oh, Kishane Thompson's going to win. It's really a question of who's going to come in second, Noah Lyles or Oblique Seville. Oblique Seville ended up coming in last after all the hype, people talking about how it's going to be Kishane Thompson, Oblique Seville, and then, somebody else. And the reality was Noah Lyles ended up winning. I'm super excited for him. I'm glad even Fred Kerley got the bronze at 981. What a great race to be able to watch. I mean, at the end, even there was a lot of kind of standing around trying to figure out who really won. You could see the time ended up being a 784. So 9.784 for Noah Lyles and 9.789 for Kishane Thompson. So that's how close that race ended up being at the end. And again, huge congrats to Noah Lyles. I think it was amazing that he was able to pull it off. I think he did a great job in being able to finish through at the end, right? And this is really what's going to end up being the big thing going into the 200 is, I mean, I'm sure he has a ton of confidence going into it now, but just being able to maintain having a good start, being able to get out effectively, the better he can get out with his first few steps and work on his start. I mean, he's getting much quicker out of the blocks. He still can work on his push-off. We can see the difference between him and like Oblique Seville, who does a really good job with just getting a lot of horizontal force. I love his start. He's one of the best starters in the world right now, Oblique Seville, as is Kishane Thompson. I mean, it doesn't take away anything from either one of those guys. I know that Jamaica, I think, puts a lot of pressure on those guys to be winners, right? Kishane Thompson coming in second. I think that that's a huge accomplishment, especially at his age. I think he's going to be a dominant person in the 100 meters for years to come, and that's going to be a great rivalry to be able to see is Kishane Thompson versus really all the American sprinters, all the up-and-coming American sprinters. But what ended up being a big part of it was just Noah Lyles being able to get into his top speed well and just get that great range of motion. And that's where some of that weight and size, I mean, going into the race, looking at Kishane Thompson, it's like he looks like a safety or potentially even a linebacker, especially at the college level linebacker. Maybe in the pros, he'd be a little undersized, but he could definitely be a linebacker in college. He's a football player in terms of his size, and the fact that he's running that fast is just insane. And to me, if he can drop a little bit of muscle, I think it would help him get into what should be in the 9.6s. I think he should be running a 9.6. He's 9.79 at 22. He should definitely be running the 9.6s and is definitely going to be the world's fastest man in the years to come. So again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown. I'm going to also have a link for the Kishane Thompson breakdown that I did when he ran 9.77, as well as a Noah Lyles start video if you want to learn a little bit more about what he's doing within his start. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe.